Hello, welcome to step 5. In this video we're going to do interior walls. We're going to trim and extend elements as well as add doors. So under projects, go to open, select step 5 and press open again. Okay, so our first step, we are going to go to the project browser and double click level 3. Once this is opened, press WT on your keyboard and ZA to zoom all. Once you have done that, we go to the architectural tab, select wall. Before we draw anything, go to the properties palette, click this button, and we are going to choose generic 300mm wall. One thing before we start drawing, it is important to know our base constraint and our top constraint. As you can see, we are currently going to be drawing on level 3 and the wall is going to go up to level 4. This is correct. If this is not correct on your screen, please change it to be exactly the same as mine. From here, we're going to zoom into our level 3 floor plan. We're going to draw a wall on grid line 4 from the exterior wall. So once it's highlighted with a blue dashed dot line, click once and straight down to approximately here on grid line 4. And then click again, and you'll notice that I have the option to continue drawing in a chain. Press escape, go over to grid line 5, again on the wall. When it's highlighted and dotted, click once, pull down, so you see it's pretty much lining up with wall number 4 with a blue dotted line, and click again, press escape. And we're going to do 2 more walls between grid lines 5 and 6 from the exterior wall. So hover over the wall so it's dotted, click once, then click again, press escape, go up to the wall so it's dotted, click once, down, click again, and then press escape. Zoom out slightly, and I want you to draw one wall just like on my screen from here all the way to the exterior wall so it's blue and dotted, and then click again. One great thing about Revit is that you can also control the wall by pressing shift. So if I click here, I can go at an angle, but if I press shift, it automatically locks it vertically or horizontally. I cannot go at any other angle. I'd like you to press escape to cancel that command. Our next wall we're going to draw from grid line 6, exterior wall between grid lines B and C. So hover over grid line 6 until it's dotted, round about here. Click once and then all the way over to pretty much between grid lines 4 and 5, and then click again and then press escape. Our next step is to trim and extend the walls so they join correctly. So currently under the modify place wall tab, which is green, just slightly to the middle, hover over this button and you see trim extend to corner. Select this button. Now on grid line 4, the wall that you've just made, hover over the wall, click once, hover over this wall that is currently horizontal, and you will notice a blue dotted line which tells you how it's going to join. Click this wall once and you will see our join has happened. The next tool we're going to use is 2 buttons to the right from our previous trim extend to corner, which is trim, extend multiple elements. Click this button. Now when you go down to the horizontal wall, you will notice when you hover over it, you can select either the north face or the south face of the wall. We're going to select the north face. Click once. I want you to hover over the wall that we've drawn on grid line 5, and you will notice we have a blue dashed line to tell us where it's going to join. I want you to click on this wall and the 2 other vertical walls. And as you can see on my screen, if you hover, you see the blue dotted line. So click once, and again this one, once again, and press escape to finish the command. The next trim and extend tool I'm going to show you is between the 2 previous ones, which is trim, extend, single element. Press this button. I want you to hover over the horizontal wall that is currently between grid lines B and C, this one here. I want you to highlight by hovering over the south side of this wall so it's blue. Click once, and then the wall directly above it, click once more, and you will notice we've closed off this room. From here, I would like you to hover over the left-hand side of the wall between grid lines B and C. Click once, and then on the other side of the wall to the right, I want you to click on the horizontal wall here, and you will notice we've got rid of that little nib. The next thing we're going to do is do some annotation with some dimensions of these two walls here attaching to grid line 6. So at the top of your screen, choose the Annotate tab and the Align Dimension tool, which is on the far left. Hover over the vertical wall between grid line 5 and 6, clicks once again on grid line 6, and to finish the action you need to be in negative space. So click outside approximately here. As you will notice on your dimensions, you have two lock symbols and your dimension is currently blue, and just north of that you'll see a little EQ button with a red line between it. I'd like you to press the EQ button and you will automatically notice that our wall has shifted to the left and is now equal within that space. I want you to delete these dimensions by pressing the delete key, and you will automatically notice that we have a warning in the bottom right hand side. This is telling us that the dimensions have been deleted but the wall is still locked to equal. I'd like you to press OK. To show this in further detail, I'd like you to select this wall and drag it to the left and to the right, and you will notice that the middle wall is always equal. Just like before, and to deselect a wall, simply press in negative space. The next thing we're going to do is draw a kitchen. So zooming out a little bit, and between grid lines C and D and 3 and 4, we're going to draw a rectangle wall. So just like before, Architectural tab, Wall tool, choose the Rectangle Draw tool. Between 3 and 4, C and D, I'd like you to draw a rectangle which is approximately 5 meters by 8.5 meters. Again, don't forget that we can control our walls once they've been drawn with the temporary dimensions which are blue. On my screen you can see 4.7. I'm going to select that and change it to 5.0, and at the bottom you can see 7.0 on mine, and I'm going to change this to 8.5. Staying within the tool so that your Modify Place wall is still green at the top of your screen, I'd like you to choose the Fillet Arc tool. Once you've selected that, I want you to select the north wall and the left wall, and you will notice that I can have an arc that moves backwards and forwards while hovering. I want this wall to be approximately 2.0, so if I click at 4.54, go to the temporary dimension and type 2.0, my arc will automatically change. I'm now going to do this on the bottom right hand corner, so select the right wall, the south wall, click approximately 3.1 and then change this to 2.0 and then press return. And now I'm going to press escape to finish the command and escape again to go back to our normal user interface. The next thing we're going to do is add some openings to our kitchen. So let's zoom in a little bit, select the north wall, and you will notice we have two blue dots at the end of each wall. I want you to select the dot on the right hand side, holding down your mouse button and drag it to the left and then let go. Again, you have the temporary dimensions. I want the opening to be 2 meters wide. So I select what's currently on my screen is 2.75. I select that and press 2.0, and you'll notice my opening is now 2 meters wide. I want to do exactly the same on the bottom, so I select the wall, but this time I select the left hand dot, drag it to the right, let go of the mouse button, go to the temporary dimension and type 2.0. The next thing we're going to do is add some doors. So if you zoom out a little bit and focus mainly on the top right hand side of your building, if you go to the Architectural tab and choose the Door button, Before we place a door, I want you to go to the Properties palette, select this button and choose a 915 by 2134 door. Before you place a door, it is important to know that you can control it by placing either side of the wall. Additionally, you can press the space bar and it will actually flip the door swing no matter what side of the wall you are. We're going to place this door here. The next door we're going to place here. Press the space bar to change the direction of the swing. Put one here. Again, making sure it's aligned. Here and here. The next thing we're going to do is actually lock the doors together so they're always horizontally matched. Press Escape twice. We now go to the Modify tab and use the Align tool which we've previously used. So select this, hover over the door until you see a blue line. Click once on the blue line and then go up to the door above, find the middle blue line and click again and you will see a lock symbol appear. Hover over the lock symbol until it's gold and then click once. Now press Escape twice to exit the command. Once you have done this, you will notice that if I select the top door and drag it slightly to the right, the door at the bottom will follow suit. So move it back to the left and the door will follow suit. The next thing you want to do is zoom out slightly and select the door between 4 and 5. To change this door, we can go to the Properties palette and select Door Double Flush Variable, and automatically it's updated on our screen. Now, one thing to note is that this is a stretchable door, hence why you can see blue pull handles. So I can actually make it smaller and bigger by selecting the blue pull handles. With the instance door, not only can you control it with the pull handles, but you can also control it within the Properties palette, which you can see here under Dimensions, where it shows height and width. So I can change the width to 2.000. Once I bring my cursor back into the drawing area, it will update. Now, to change the type doors, you will notice that in the Properties palette there is no dimensions for its size. To be able to change that, you need to go to the Edit Type button here. Under this new window on your screen, which is the Type Properties window, you will notice under Dimensions that we have many different numbers. These numbers apply to each element of the door, such as the thickness, the trim projection of the exterior, the width, the rough width, and the rough height. To change the width, simply select the 0.9150 and change it to 0.800 and then press Apply. Automatically you will see within level 3 plan these doors have been updated. It is important to note that when you do change a dimension within the type properties, you really should either duplicate the file or rename the file. For now, we are going to rename it and change the 915 to 0800, then press OK and then OK again, and you will notice in the Properties palette that this has been changed to 0800. Okay, so that concludes step 5, but before we do that, let's click in negative space so no doors are selected. Close the 3D window and level 3, and do not save as you may want to redo this again.